11 huge EastEnders spoilers for next week. In the upcoming week on EastEnders, George unravels startling revelations about his history. Johnny pledges retaliation against Dean upon his return to Walford, and Amy endeavors to provide assistance to Denise. Here's a comprehensive rundown of the major developments ahead. 1. George makes a devastating discovery. George arrives at his dad's award ceremony and is stunned by Eddie's apparent pride in him and the way he's treated like a returning hero by his dad's mates. As the night goes on, George confides in Elaine that he might have misread Eddie's behavior and that maybe his dad did always love him. That's until Gerald, one of Eddie's friends, accidentally lets slip to George that the jury is going to love him. Confused, George presses him, and Gerald explains that Eddie is facing trial for a racially motivated murder and needs George to be his character witness. George is devastated to realize he's being manipulated by Eddie. 2. Johnny is back. Johnny is back in Walford with a new face and is horrified by the state of Linda. He quizzes the family to find out why she's got so bad, and Elaine reveals Dean is back. Horrified, Johnny rushes to confront Dean and is spotted by Ben, who follows him into Beale's Eels. Ben has to drag Johnny away from Dean, and, with Callum, they talk over a drink. 3. George searches for answers. It's the morning of Gina's birthday, and a distracted George does his best to focus on his daughter. Eddie and Gloria arrive, but George tells them he knows about the court case, and he wants them to leave. Gloria is desperate and implores George to still help, but he dismisses them. After a heart-to-heart with Gina, George talks about his childhood and tries to excuse Eddie's words and deeds, which angers her. Afterwards, George finds the courage to look up his father's court case. 4. Nish shocks Kat with an offer. Nish's desire to deepen his connection with Kat prompts Priya to offer him some strategic advice. Getting to know her children could be the key to winning her affection. Taking this to heart, Nish sees an opportunity when Kat and her kids join him for dinner. However, the evening takes an unexpected turn as Bert and Ernie, Kat's lively children, create chaos, testing Nish's patience. Despite the mayhem, Kat finds amusement in witnessing Nish's reaction to her unruly kids, but her amusement turns to surprise when Nish extends a sudden and surprising invitation, leaving her intrigued and curious about his intentions. The dinner at Nish's becomes a lively affair as Bert and Ernie's antics inject a dose of energy into the evening. Kat's amusement at Nish's discomfort hints at a growing bond between them, even amidst the chaos of family life. However, Nish's unexpected invitation adds a layer of intrigue, suggesting that his interest in Kat may be more serious than initially thought. As the dynamics between them continue to evolve, both Kat and Nish are left pondering the potential implications of their budding connection and the role Kat's children may play in their developing relationship. 5. Johnny plans revenge on Dean. Johnny punches Dean and warns him to leave Linda alone. Johnny is determined to stop Linda from drinking by not letting her out of his sight, but it soon becomes too much for her. After secretly boozing, Linda makes a show of herself by dropping Gina's birthday cake in front of everyone in the Vic. Johnny, who has found out Gina dated Dean, lashes out at her for laughing. Ben and Callum are concerned by Johnny's angry behavior, and Ben promises to help Johnny get rid of Dean, but assures Callum it'll all be legal and above board. 6. Amy and Jack worry about Denise. Concerned about her parents' relationship, Amy takes it upon herself to intervene in an attempt to mend the strained bond between Jack and Denise. Believing that a thoughtful Valentine's gesture could help rekindle their romance, Amy persuades her father to select a bracelet as a gift for Denise. However, their well-intentioned plan takes an unexpected turn when Denise's reaction to the bracelet reveals a troubling truth. Unbeknownst to Amy and Ricky, Denise's unusual behavior stems from hallucinations, as she mistakenly perceives the bracelet as the missing D necklace, signaling deeper underlying issues that threaten to unravel their family dynamic. As Ricky grapples with the dilemma of whether to disclose Denise's behavior to Jack, Amy pleads with him to maintain secrecy, fearing the consequences of their parents' potential separation. Amy's desperate plea underscores the fragility of their family unit as she struggles to navigate the delicate balance between protecting her parents' marriage and confronting the harsh reality of Denise's deteriorating mental health. Caught between loyalty to his sister and concern for their family's well-being, Ricky faces a moral dilemma that could have far-reaching implications for their family's future. 7. George finally gets answers. In a special episode, airing on February 14th, Gloria and Eddie arrive at the Vic, where George insists on talking alone with his dad. During a painful confrontation, George finally unlocks the truth about his childhood, Eddie's racism, and what is really going on. Gloria also tries to explain herself to Elaine and begs her to help convince George to testify on Eddie's behalf. 8. Johnny and Gina's plan backfires. Johnny's determination to seek justice leads him to consider launching a civil case against Dean, fueled by his desire to protect Linda and hold Dean accountable for his actions. However, Callum's revelation about a recorded conversation wherein Linda seemingly exonerates Dean throws a wrench into Johnny's plans. This unexpected twist forces Johnny to reconsider his approach, realizing that the evidence he thought he had may not be as clear-cut as he initially believed. Undeterred, Johnny joins forces with Gina, recognizing that together they may have a better chance of uncovering the truth and obtaining the crucial recording from Dean. As Johnny and Gina collaborate on their mission to retrieve the recording, they devise a plan to outmaneuver Dean and erase any incriminating evidence against him. Despite Dean's initial skepticism, Gina's persuasive tactics lead him to agree to a seemingly innocuous outing. However, Dean's sharp instincts ultimately tip him off to Johnny and Gina's scheme, leaving them scrambling to salvage their plan and maintain the upper hand in their pursuit of justice. The unfolding drama sets the stage for a high-stakes showdown between Johnny, Gina, and Dean as they navigate a web of deceit and betrayal in their quest for truth and retribution. 9. George lashes out at Denzel. George is in turmoil following the previous night's revelations, and during a training session with Denzel, he goes too far. Elaine is horrified to watch George lose it with Denzel and then be plunged into self-hatred at being just like Eddie. Elaine reluctantly accompanies Gloria to see George at the boxing den, where Gloria implores George to give her 5 minutes to explain herself. Against Elaine's wishes, George agrees. 10. Linda's behavior causes alarm. Despite her deep-seated discomfort, Linda steels herself to confront Johnny and Dean at the cafe, driven by a mix of fear and a determination to assert herself in the face of her trauma. The mere presence of Dean, a constant reminder of her harrowing ordeal, sends shivers down her spine, but she refuses to let her fear control her actions. However, as tensions escalate between Dean and Johnny during a heated argument, a sudden commotion erupts, culminating in a glass shattering and Linda inadvertently injuring herself. The sight of blood triggers a visceral reaction in Linda, intensifying her already heightened emotional state and plunging her into a state of panic and distress. Caught off guard by Linda's sudden outburst, Johnny struggles to make sense of her erratic behavior, bewildered by the abrupt shift in her demeanor. His confusion mirrors the reactions of those around him as they watch in shock as Linda's distress reaches a fever pitch. The incident serves as a stark reminder of the lingering trauma Linda continues to grapple with, highlighting the profound impact of her ordeal on her mental and emotional well-being. As the aftermath of the confrontation unfolds, Johnny is left grappling with a newfound understanding of the depth of Linda's trauma, prompting him to reassess his approach in supporting her through her ongoing struggles. 11. Amy seeks advice over Denise. Jack surprises Denise with breakfast but rejects her suggestion of a Valentine's night together because he secretly wants to be with Stacy. Amy is worried about Denise's behavior and goes with her to work, where she continues to act out of character. Once again, Ricky says they should tell Jack, but Amy says no. Instead, she asks Stacy for advice about having bipolar, feigning it's for a school project.